Adding, of course, to the character of Diego Yantogre, you come to find out that he is somewhat complex of a character. It's not really so much of a bisexuality that Diego possesses. He has a male lover who is actually his primary partner. Um, and Diego even has children that have been mentioned. And I don't go too far into detail in the first book about Diego's children. Until you get to the second book, you find out a little more. Um, but he actually prefers one partner, which would be Julian, which of course they had been childhood friends. The two were actually ripped apart, and something I don't mention in the first book is that Diego manages to actually resurrect Julian, um, and they both actually managed to live on for some time, but Julian was actually in a very weakened state that people still continued to think he was dead, so that Diego could continue to pillage through. Um, Essentially, the spell managed to break because of the Correco family's intervention, and the two were eventually split up. There is a lot of mystery in Diego's age, for example, that shows at one point that he's only 300, but essentially the numbers don't exactly add up. And that's a mystery on its own, of something that I don't explain until later on in another book, um, which will clarify that question, of course. The book overall is a book about war, and the main theme that I have in this book is that, even in times of danger, sworn enemies will work with one another, they will unite together in order to defeat a greater power that threatens the both of them. Um, and this is, of course, true even in life. I went beyond the good versus evil in showing that even two sides who hate each other with a passion will actually take the time to join forces in order to preserve their selves. And of course, they eventually will overpower the threat which caused them to team up, and they'll eventually, of course, fight against each other again. But it shows a complexity in life, a little bit of humility, that enemies can work together when they must and only when they have to. And that's a theme that this book shows. Um, Another thing that the book shows, as far as somewhat a theme in it, would be how you always have two sides of one story, and you never really know exactly who is right. And you never can know who's right because, of course, there are different views of right and wrong. Um, you know, it shows how war affects people, how it can destroy planets, how it has the ability to drastically change people. And it is during war that you actually happen to see the real side of a person. And overall, I would say that it's a fairly complicated book in the beginning to understand. There is a lot going on. There are a lot of questions you may develop and have, and they do get answered as the series progresses. And essentially, you come to find out as a reader that the book is merely an introduction. Part one is only an introduction to the entire series, and that is why there is so much going along together. And as the series develops, you'll come to understand exactly what the book is about. Um, that's pretty much all I have to say about the book now, as far as part one is concerned. I'm hoping that you actually took the time to look through all of these videos, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope it gives you a better grasp on to understanding everything a little better. And as promised, at the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and have the links put in where you can buy the books. I do have a blog where you can go as well. I'm going to update the blog periodically. I'm going to go ahead and put the link at the end of the video for the blog as well. And that's pretty much it. I'm an open author. I've already received fan mail, and I'm happy that I have my fans out there. As an author, You know, when you have fans, it means there's somebody there who's willing to read your work and likes your work, and it means a lot, you know. And you know, I'm always open to fan mail. And when you go to my blog, you can see the email address that you can email me, where I personally respond to everybody's fan mail. And you know, you don't necessarily have to be fan mail, it can even be criticism. I'm open to everything as an author, um, whether it would be criticism or even praise for the book. Any input helps. And you know, I take the criticism very well, because it helps you mature as an author, to see what people like, what people don't like, and it better helps you realize what kind of audience you want to market your book towards. So that's pretty much it, and I hope you guys got a lot of information out of this, and I'll definitely be posting more videos up soon, and you can pretty much have the second book's videos, which I'm hoping will be up soon enough. In the meantime, read on, and you know, just keep doing what you guys are doing. Thanks.